I have so much like satanic trauma in my brain. I don't know how to like release it I don't know how to like release it out of me. It's not something that like plagues me anymore really, but it's like
like define it. What do you mean? Like
different stages in different life, but like the oldest one, so like the one I can connect to the most because it was maybe like 10 years ago versus like 20 years ago. I got into a really bad car wreck it's a very long story, but I can summarize it so it's short because I think I actually mentioned it on the first recording, and I said the same thing, which is just like it takes hours to explain it for real. But if I can make it short, it was like I was going through something crazy, and I was like, I have to get out of here. So I made an appointment to go to this Buddhist monastery. I was like 20 or something. I was young and dumb. And so I made this appointment to go to this Buddhist monastery in Woodstock, New York.
oh wow.
Yeah, and so I was like, I'm going to get there. And I just thought a lot differently then. Like I was crazier. I had like a teen brain, even though I was technically not a teen.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to get there and there will be a sign for me. There'll be like a metaphysical door like that I have to walk through and things are going to work out. This is my last hope. Like I have to just get there and just kind of submit to thinking of it as a place I had to go to like get answers, which was sort of like my brain just made all this up. I don't know why, but it was focused on that. So it did that. So I made arrangements to make that happen. In my mind, I was like never coming home again. Like I packed up my car. Yeah. Okay. Like I packed up my car. Like I had like a little SUV and I like packed up that shit with everything important to me. So I'm going to the monastery and I'm going up this windy road and I'm a little late. I was supposed to get there at a certain time to check in. And, I was running a little late because this was before like smartphones and stuff. I was just going off of like paper directions I had like handwritten from the internet. When like you get lost, you're kind of fucked. Mm-hmm. And so
MapQuest.
Yeah. And so I'm like going up this windy like mountain, like I don't know, like this windy road mountain thing. And the road is very narrow because it's like woodsy and shit like that. And this car is on the other side of the road. And she's going really fast, and she just, it's like a head-on collision. Both of our cars totaled. And at the time, like the last time I had tried to leave town and start like a new life, the same thing had happened to me. Like I had gotten into a really bad car wreck. I wasn't driving. Neither time was my fault, which was bad. Like if it was my fault, it could be not mystical, but because both times it was someone else's fault, in my crazy brain, I decided I was cursed and that this was Satan trying to keep me where I was, which I get now as an adult sounds like very egotistical, like that anything in the universe would care. Yeah. But it was like, I was like 20, I was young. So or maybe I was like 21 or something. I can't remember exactly. But like I still had like a young teen brain where it's like you do kind of feel like the world revolves around you.
I still kind of feel that way.
Yeah, I mean, everyone, I think that's just part of being human, but it's like worse when you're young. It's more intense.
The world is a lot smaller and you have a bigger role in it.
Yeah. And you're just more selfish and blah, blah, blah. So I was convinced I was cursed because I couldn't leave town and I couldn't leave my situation. And I never got to the monastery because my car was crashed and I had to like deal with that. And the funniest part was, it was like I was going to the monastery to try to like get this new life. And I left this situation with all of my stuff in ruins I just had to throw out because I didn't have a car to bring home now.
Yeah.
So it was like I had packed my car with all my important stuff that I needed to have with me, and I just lost it all like a fire.
Yeah.
Which felt very zen and like creepy to me at the time.
It's like a release.
It was just like a little too much. And the the car accident was really weird, and like the people and like how everyone was and behaved, and like just all the details surrounding the like right after, and then like the following 24 hours felt very mystical and strange to me. And so when I finally got home, it took a while. When I finally got home, I was completely changed. Like, it felt like like the movie Stand By Me, but just to myself. Like, I came home like a completely different person, and very dark, and very, like, I could not see it from like a logical point of view. Like, I could not be like, you know what? I should really just be thankful. Like, I could be paralyzed, or like, I could be this, I could be that. I couldn't see it like that. I saw it as my freedom that I was like trying to strive for so bad to get out of here was cut. And like Satan was telling me, no, kiddo, you got to stay here forever.
Yeah.
And I felt so cursed and destroyed. And I felt so like it was an intentional plot of the universe.
Yeah.
And that fucked me up for years. For years, that made me have like this weird relationship with Satan. And I felt like I felt like I had actually been driven crazy. So then I felt like I had to be friends with him to beat him at his own game. And that was my 20s, baby. Like, this was my 20s. I was psycho.